Hey FYE guys, how we doing? This is Mr. Alexander checking in with you. It's Monday, April 20th. It's like, I don't know, 10 o'clock, something like that. Just checking in for the week. Figure I'd put an email lecture out to you guys. It's funny because as I put these together, I sit down my little notepad and I start writing down ideas and things I want to talk to you about. And got about halfway down the page today and I realized I don't do this for my regular classes, so why would I do it for this class? I mean, when I walk into that lecture hall at the beginning of our lectures, I usually come in with just a basic topic, and we go back and forth, and we talk about some of the information, thoughts, and ideas. And in a lot of cases, I don't need to have a PowerPoint or a scripted worksheet, but with me working and talking by myself, it's a little bit more difficult for me to interact, I guess, with you guys. I can reflect on some of your journals. I can take a look at some of the things going on in the world and talk about those, but for us, it's a little bit more difficult. One of the things I've noticed, and it's not just this class, it's with a lot of my other classes, I'm getting some emails from students that are concerned about the workload. They're concerned about their ability to stay on task. They're worried about their ability to keep the get the assignments in and do well. This is a difficult time for all of us. It's a difficult time for me as an instructor. It's a difficult time for you guys as students. I find myself with more distractions than I've ever had because I'm home all day. Usually I can go to work, and when you're at work, you can focus on what you're doing. But when you're sitting at home, you got all this other stuff going on, and it's tough to stay focused and on task with the things that you should be doing. So I completely understand it. It's absolutely normal. This is a difficult time. Some of you guys are down in the city where there's a lot less, there's a lot more going on in a lot of cases than there is in upstate New York. You may have family members. I did have a student, unfortunately, had a close, I'm not sure if it was a relative or a friend pass, but you probably know people that are getting sick, and you probably know people that are struggling. People are out of work. I just found out my brother's out of work. My other brother, his wife is out of work, so my sister-in-law's out of work. So, yeah, they're getting unemployment, but that's not what they want to do. They want to be able to work, so it's pretty unsure. But anyways, moving forward, all I can tell you guys is make a list of your classes. Just get a notebook, just get a notepad out, make a list of all the courses that you have, and what are the assignments for week 11. What has to be done this week? I usually tell you to prioritize and make a list of the assignments that are most important, the ones you got to focus on the most. But I would literally just make a list of the assignments and then take care of the ones that are the easiest. Just get them done. If it's a 5-10 minute assignment, let's get that one done and check that off the list, and then go down your list. It gives you a sense of accomplishment. If you start trying to work on that one big assignment and then all you're doing is burying yourself in that one big assignment, you can get to the end of the day and you haven't completed it, and you look at your list and the anxiety starts to build up because you got so many other things to do. My low battery light just came on my phone, so while I'm talking to you guys, I'm going to try to find my phone charger, which I think is right over here. I'll be right back. Haha, I found it. Let me plug it into my phone here, my car, or my laptop dealio here, and I'm going to take my phone. And don't mind me, I'm just plugging in. There we go. I'm back? Okay, good. There we go. Of course, my phone is asking me if I trust my laptop. Of course I don't trust my laptop. But anyways, so make a list of the assignments you got going on, the ones that are most important, the ones that are, you can chip off easy. Get the easy ones done. Makes sense to just get those over with. It shows you a sense of accomplishment. So get those out of the way. Mine would probably be the easiest for you to do. You're just going to send me an email and say, Mr. Alexander, this is what I did this week. But it gives you an idea that you're making progress. And that's kind of important. And set yourself some time. You got to get away. I come down here. I've got a place to go. You guys got to have a place to go. There's got to be some place separate from, the stuff that's going on in your house. You got to have a place where that's your work area. So go down, do your work, and then go back. Whether it's a bedroom, whether it's a closet, a hallway, doesn't matter. But you got to have one place where you can go, and there's just limited or minimal interruption. So Try to stay focused on that. That's all I can tell you. Do the best you can. Communicate with your instructors. If you fall behind, you got some assignments that are just not going to get done, send them an email. Let them know that you're working on them. Don't not respond. Do not communicate. Take a few minutes. Even write up a form email and say, Mr. Whatever, leave it blank, and then put in the information and say, I'm falling behind. I realize this, but I'm going to do the best I can to catch up. So be aware of that. Some students have asked me about dropping. Contact your instructor. Find out where your grade is. You may be surprised that your grade is better than you thought. You got to remember, you still had half of your semester on campus. So this latter half of the semester was done outside of campus. So maybe you're doing better than you thought. So don't give up. Get as much done as you possibly can. Ask them possibly about doing a pass-fail instead of doing a letter grade. That's an option to you guys too. And also ask about the opportunity. Maybe if you've got some large assignments, and maybe you can get an extension. Maybe you can get incomplete for this semester and take some time, over the summer to get them done. But we're going to get out through this thing. This thing's going to be over, within short, I would say 3-4 months, and we're going to be on the other side of this thing. So things are going to come back to normal before you know it. We'll be back on campus doing what we've been doing. So. But I hope things are well with you. But other things I want to talk about today. Last week we did a little employment deal. You guys did a little New York State Department of Labor activity. I usually do that in class, but I had you guys do that on your own. You searched around that. You also took a look at maybe what areas of the country you may want to live in. I've got some good input on that. You got to kind of watch out for your accepting jobs in high rent districts. I was offered a job when I was working with Chrysler to move to just outside of Boston, and it was a significant increase in pay, but it didn't cover the difference in cost of living. And I didn't accept the position, and I'm glad I didn't, because if I did, I would have actually lost money, because the cost to live out there is significantly more than it is to live out in the woods where I currently live. So, but for you guys, be aware of that. So I wanted you to investigate that. Another thing that I usually do this time in the semester is we start talking about developing resumes. Each one of you guys should have a professional resume you could send to somebody. If somebody asked you, hey, would you, maybe you meet somebody and they're interested in hiring you, and they want you to, they want some information from you. In a lot of cases, the very professional resume is something that they're looking for. And what I usually do is I'll have somebody from the college come in and do a short presentation on how to develop a resume. Some of you guys probably already did this in high school. It's a very common thing for you to do in high school. A lot of your communication classes, a lot of your business classes will have you develop resumes. And there's no, a lot of people have their own format or their own idea for resume. And the way that I look at it, as long as your fundamental information is there, your education level, your experience, your contact information, maybe a little bit about yourself, there's really no wrong way of doing it. If you leave some of that stuff off, then obviously, but the format-wise and where your name is and the date and what appears first, some people have certain thoughts and ideas behind that. Usually what I look for is I look at obviously the name and the address and contact information at the top. First thing I want to see is, basically what your education level is, where you're going to school. Even if you haven't completed a degree, you can always put down that you're a candidate for a degree and then give me the year that you may graduate, that kind of thing. And then work experience, most recent first. Same thing with education, most recent education. You may want to list your high school stuff. If you went to a trade school or a BOCES or a high school vocational program, you want to list that too. And then below that will be all your educational, your work stuff first. Most recent work experience. And for you guys being young people, put down a high school job you had, the part-time high school, where you worked, maybe some volunteer work if you coached or did anything with scouts. Really things that you did for your church, the community. Put all that stuff in, even if it's unpaid. It's work experience. Maybe you helped your neighbor out and did some landscaping for your neighbor. Put that thing down. That just shows that you've done something outside the house. The key is we're looking for that you've done something outside the house. Now, if you haven't done anything outside the house, well, that's what you should be working on this summer, is to try to build some work experience. So church groups. fundraisers for your school. Some of you guys were on maybe you did the yearbook at your high school. It doesn't matter. I mean, put some of those things in there, experiences you've had that will show me that you know how to go and do work for somebody else. And that's what we're looking for in a resume. And then at the bottom of the resume, you want to list, personal activities, things that you've been involved in, sports, any clubs and organizations, that kind of stuff. And then to wrap it up, sometimes if you got room, you put down a couple of references. If not, you can, put the references in later. But I mean, that's basically what a basic resume is. So what I'm going to ask you guys to do this week is I'm not going to ask you to write a resume. What I'm going to ask you to do this week is basically find a resume template online. So go online, find a resume template, send me the link to the resume template. I'm not even going to ask you to put your stuff in. Just send me the link. Hey, Mr. Alexander, this is the resume template I thought was kind of cool online. Or give me an example of a resume. Maybe you can find one online that you like. And link that into your journal for this week. So this linked item that will be on your journal this Sunday will be just a resume template making software or whatever. I don't care. But find something online that shows you how to make a template. Okay, how to make a resume. So link that to your journal this week. The other thing I'd like you to link to the journal this week, and again, I'm kind of banging my head because most of this stuff I do with you guys live at the college, but I want you to find a TED's Talk video, okay? And the TED's Talk video should be on a topic, okay? The topic should be on finding a career, finding a job path, developing a resume, interview skills, something along the lines of employment, because again, that's the topic for this week. So along the lines of employment, so what I'm looking for is 2 links in your journal. One would be how to develop a resume, okay, some sort of resume builder, your website example. And then the other one is going to be a TED's Talk video. And that TED's Talk video is going to talk about some sort of employment topic. It could be interview skills. It could be on developing a resume. It could be building your career. It could be searching out jobs. Whatever you feel is interesting to you. Find me that TED's Talk video and link it to your journal. So in your journal this week, due Sunday, you're going to say, Mr. Alexander, this is how my week's going. This is what's happening with my classes and at home and whatever. And by the way, below here is what we're, linked to a resume builder and linked to a video about employment. So, and then I think that'll be enough for you guys this week. I want you guys to focus, obviously, on this class, but I really would like to see you guys focus on your other classes and get caught up. Make this your first easy, quick assignment for the week. Obviously watch this video, but go ahead and do those 2 assignments and link those 2, and that's really all I'm looking for this week. So, okay, you guys be good, be safe, and if I can help you, reach out to me, send me an email. Be safe, okay? We'll talk to you. Yep, bye-bye.